what's going on, everyone? My name is Murphy, my beautiful wife,
Melissa,
and we are here to help you guys with your
health,
wealth, and relationships. Yes, you guys, it's been a little while since we actually did one of these YouTube videos, but we have, it's been busy. It's been a really roller coaster of a year for all of us, for sure. But once again, guys, we're here to kind of give you guys some valuable information to kind of help you guys understand that, we've all been in those situations where we fretted or we worried or we were financially unstable. And, I know a lot of people across the country and the world are experiencing that at this moment in time. So,
yeah, absolutely. We kind of just want to shed light and hope and share with you guys a little bit about our own financial crisis or crises. And just let you all know that we've been there. You're not alone. That it's been quite the financial journey for us, but there's hope. You can come out on the other side. So,
exactly. Our journey, you guys, my wife was saying, it started when, over 5 years ago, for sure. We were at a point of despair. Our journey really consisted of not knowing where our money went at all, and with that, coupling with that, was the fact that we had a substantial amount of debt that we owed to many different debtors. But one thing that really helped us just really understand is to kind of drawing a line in the sand and saying enough is enough, and that really helped us understand that, okay, wow, we can actually get out of this this turmoil in which we were in financially, but as long as we actually did it together and had a complete vision that was actually ahead of us together. But it's just very interesting. You get to these points in your lives that you think that there's no way out. Hope is just deferred, and you have mental stresses about everything. You're worrying about when the next paycheck's going to be coming in. Just living paycheck to paycheck, just trying to catch up every single month, and that just gets really tiring. But we drew a line in the sand and just said, like I said earlier, enough is enough.
Yeah, for sure, you guys. I think pre-debt freedom or pre-debt payoff journey. So we've been married almost 10 years. This in a couple months will be 10 years.
It's coming up quickly.
The first 4 years of our marriage, 4 to 5 years, we were just living way above our means, like wine tasting every weekend and taking trips with money that we did not have. And I remember we would always find ourselves at the grocery store using this line of credit that we had, and that was all that we had. I mean, it was either that or overdrawn on our bank account. So
exactly.
It was just kind of like this continuous circle around, and it was just we kept doing the same thing, right? Expecting a different result. So we definitely got to a rock bottom moment, and I think he'll shed some light on. I think he hit his rock bottom before I did, and brought it home. So
just for us men out there, we want to be the supporters. We want to be have provision in our households, and we carry a lot of that load for sure as men, and of course women do too, but just different in different aspects, right? But I just got to a point that I didn't know which way was up, you guys. I didn't know which way, up, left, down, right, any direction. I was so lost, and I was in my therapist's office at the time and just really sitting there trying to understand what we did wrong and how we ended up in the situation. And something something told me to look up this man named Dave Ramsey. This man really this man's name really allowed me to immerse myself in the information of getting out of debt, because he had tons of content online that shared their story and that helped other people, millions of people, get out of debt. And I thought to myself, why not try this? And one thing about myself that you guys may not know is that I'm a visceral learner, and really I'm advantageous when it comes to a method that I know I can grasp and actually bring home and implement in our own lives. But bringing that home to Melissa, she was definitely not on board. But eventually, definitely, everything started to come together as a mutual unit that we are. But it's just imagining yourself in a point that you're down in despair and you have no way out. What do you do in those situations? Do you just give up and just keep going and living a life, a mediocre life, or do you actually switch your paradigm and actually get yourself out of that mindset to allow yourself to grow spiritually, emotionally, financially, physically and what have you, into a new person. And that's something I really had to dig deep and pull out, and believe in myself and believe in the literature and content which I was consuming at the time. So
yeah, for sure. So, you know, not only was our finances in a very, very vulnerable state and just kind of a disaster, to keep it real, our marriage was too. It was just, you know, we had so much baggage that we brought into our marriage, but that was like a defining moment. Like, are we gonna stick this out and stay together and work together to turn our finances around, or are we gonna just split ways? You know, and I think at moments it would have probably been a lot easier to just say forget it and we're gonna quit. But you know, we came up with a plan, and I remember like our last hurrah and it was pretty interesting because I actually needed to take care of some medical issues that I was having at the time. We were switching insurance. This was right before we started our debt-free journey, and I wanted to use that money on a New Year's Eve party that we had planned instead of using it for the medical bill. And that New Year's Eve party was a disaster. I mean, I remember spilling champagne all over my new dress that I had bought with a credit card and never paid off.
It was crazy. We spent a lot of money that night too.
We spent a lot of money. We didn't really get too much bang for our buck, but so it was just like at that, I remember sitting there thinking like, I'm gonna cry, this is awful, I don't want to be here, like something has to change, you know. And I'll never forget that moment. And I was like, I think that was my moment where I was like, okay, I'm willing to try this, I'm not on board, but I'm in a desperate, ugly spot, you know. So I think shortly after that New Year's Eve in January is when we started out our emergency fund.
We did.
So that's, you know, took us, I think, a couple months or so. And then shortly after that, we began our debt-free journey over the course of 5 years. We had a lot of ups and a lot of downs, and it wasn't easy. We had to wake up every single day and choose, like, okay, we're gonna put our best foot forward, and we're gonna keep doing this, and we're gonna keep paying off one debt after the next. And little by little, we started to gain that momentum. But we did run into some more financial crisis along the way. I mean, our journey was not perfect. We had to pause.
Of course.
I don't think we've talked about this before, but we've had to pause. I think in year 4, we had to pause our debt. Debt payoff for a short time.
It was very interesting too, because you know, me leaving corporate world at that time, you know, just leaving a corporate atmosphere and kind of jumping in to my own thing as a self proprietor. It was interesting. It was scary too at the time because we didn't know what was going to happen. You know, saving all this money that we accumulated into our savings account, we had to really make a decision to pause our debt-free journey, which my wife was elaborating on. That was very hard for us to do, you know. And I just remember just, you know, knowing that we was, you know, getting to that end point that we can finish it off. But the smart thing was we had to kind of reassess to see if this was a good situation that allowed us to continue or just temporarily pause, which we did. We didn't pause that long, of course, but because we both made a decision, I think that that we knew that we were trusting God in this whole scenario, especially me being out on my own, work-wise. My wife was still working. We just decided to.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we started saving and we were like, okay, you know, we had this debt-free date in our mind and our goal, and you know, life happened to us, and we were like, okay, well, the wise thing probably here would be to just put a hold on it. And you know, it was so hard, like it was so hard to let that go. But I think once our income stabilized and we were like, okay, you know, the future kind of revealed itself, and you know, we were like back on track. We were like, okay, well, we have this hefty savings. I think some of you probably remember that we had this big chunk one month that we threw towards debt at the end of our journey.
We had a lot of messages. Oh, how'd you do that? How you know?
It wasn't like we were bringing that in per month, but it was just a savings.
We accumulated for a few months.
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, if you need to do that right now and, you know, save that money, put that money aside, pause your debt snowball, it's all good.
Yes, it is.
Things will get better. They will turn around. And just think like how much money you're saving now, you can eventually hopefully make that, big impact on whether you need that money for your, food or bills or rent or maybe eventually to pay off the debt. So it's okay to hold off and pause, and we've been there. So
yeah, you guys, and it's very cool to be in a position that we are now, and we're not trying to gloat or just be. We just want to be honest, because it's just we can only imagine if we were in the spot that we were in 2 years ago, still have a lot of debt on our hands, and something like this, a crisis hit us like this, it would have been devastating for sure. I'm sure we would have found a way to get out of it, but the thing is, it's like the emergency fund is a huge aspect of this journey and this method of paying off debt. It really, it literally it's saving us right now. We have no worry financially at all, but we also have the emotional worry and care that we have towards other people who are going through loss of jobs and different financial worries there. But the position that you want to put yourself in is a strong one. You want to make sure that you're building wealth and allowing yourself to make those right decisions. And this crisis is really going to tell a person who they really are, and that's something that we've actually been coming to grasp with these past, almost week and a half to 2 weeks in this, shelter in place that we are currently sitting in. But you guys, just hope out there, just reach out, to make sure you surround yourself with people who love you and who actually are encouraging you, and stay away from this negative rhetoric online propaganda. I see a lot of posts out there that people are putting. It's just negative. It's negative and it's fearful. It's fear-based, and just stay away from that, you guys. I know it's hard because we are always on our mobile devices, right? But
so we just want to leave you with a few quick steps that if you're completely lost and you don't know where to start, we're just going to briefly go over these few steps that you can take right now, right away. So the first one is, I don't know if you guys have ever heard that saying, SMH, shaking my head.
Yes.
But it's, in this case, we kind of came up with an acronym that will help you remember. And the first one, you guys, is starting with your why.
That's the S.
This is the S. Yes. And this, write it down, put it up where you'll see it every morning. Kind of think about it. What is your why? Yep. Why do you want to turn your finances around? Why do you want to, be debt free, or retire early, or go on, take a nice vacation? What is your goal? What is your why? And that will constantly remind you of your vision and why you're wanting to do this. I mean, there were many, many days where we had to look at that stupid sign on the wall and be like, okay, this is our why.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
We can do this, and kind of bring it back on those really, really tough seasons.
Yeah, and the next one, you guys, is the M, which stands for make a plan, right? You want to make a plan, and that plan is
a budget.
You guys, this is the most invaluable concept, the most invaluable element of getting out of debt. You have to make sure you are telling your money where to go, and that is so key, because if you don't, you're going to continue this out of placement, out of this chaotic moment of finances that you're currently in. And that's something that really helped us kind of drive home the fact that we knew how to get out of debt, and that was telling our money where to go, to make sure that we were grasping the method and actually throwing as much debt as possible while making sure our household was in order. But you guys, it really tells you the whole picture of your money being budgeted. You instantly, emotionally feel like you got a raise, and I know a lot of you guys know that already. But budgeting really helped us stay on track. It allowed us to push on and propel our finances in that realm. But make sure you have that plan and you stick to it. So don't give up on that.
For sure, you guys. And the last one is H, is have accountability.
Yes.
We cannot emphasize this enough, you guys. I think that, us as a married couple, it took me a while to get on board with the whole financial journey, but we were able to kind of keep each other accountable. If you don't have a spouse that you're doing this with, please reach out to someone in the debt-free community, or even check in with us. We get a lot of your DMs, and we appreciate them. That this is absolutely crucial. We've done a lot of one-on-one coaching, and we realize that if you don't have those people in your life to kind of hold you to what you say you're gonna do, or check in with or set goals with, then it's so easy to fall off and say, okay, like I'm gonna do this now when things are really, really bad, but you know, what happens when I get back to work, or you know, what happens when the stores start opening again, or something like that. So H, have accountability, is absolutely key in this whole process to keep you kind of in check and on your game. And you know, we all struggle, we all fall off, we all go through our peaks and valleys, and so it's always good to have that in place so that you can continue on and have that person kind of speak life to you to encourage you to keep going.
Exactly. So once again, you guys, the method, or more so the acronyms in which we disseminate to you guys, is SMH. S is start with why, M is make a plan, and H is have accountability, guys. So be blessed, you guys, on this wonderful evening, or more so this wonderful day. And we will catch you next time, you guys. But until then, we out, my friends. We out. Peace out.